All righty. Here we go. Week 2 of the high school football playoffs. Here at the secret broadcast bunker again because of restrictions with playoffs. My name is Noah Casa, and alongside me, as always,
Joel Geist here.
Is Joel Geist. And, so this is unfortunately for some.
Well, fortunately.
Other people love it, but
fortunately, Forest Lake is still in this, and we can still do this. So let's go with the positive first.
Yes, we are still very much in this playoff run. We're very excited for that. We got a good broadcast from the looks of it with Lakeview's team that we'll be watching tonight. And as always, we're about 2 minutes behind.
Is it 2 minutes?
I think it's about close to that.
Because I think last time was like 45 seconds.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So we'll have to.
I don't know how we test that now,
test it.
Yeah, if you want to try and sync it up yourself, you can pull up that Lakeview broadcast and pull us up on a different tab.
Lakeville North.
Lakeville North. What did I say?
Lakeview.
It's gonna be a long night. Anyways, yeah. So you can pull it up and sync up the audio so that your hometown broadcasters are announcing the game. But yeah, some of these schools this year just not really allowing opposing broadcast teams in. It's unfortunate, but
right. I mean, now let's be clear. Now they did give us a chance.
They did.
To go down and be a part of their broadcast. However, just to be under full disclosure, we were not sure that it was going to be free for everybody, which we wanted everybody in our viewing area that wasn't going to be able to make it down to have a broadcast or at least hear the game. So our intentions were, if it was going to be paid and not everybody wanted to pay another service fee, that we could be broadcasting and we could do the audio so you could at least have audio of the game. However, we found out recently that it is free for the video feed, and had we known that, we probably would have joined them down in Lakeville. So it was kind of a whole situation where we thought we were going to be able to broadcast, and then it got pulled out from under us, so we weren't sure, and then they just kind of stopped talking to us for everything else. So It was kind of like, well, if you don't want to do this, then, and we decided, well, if that's how it's going to be, then we at least want to be able to do an audio broadcast for all of our fans close and that are used to us doing the broadcasts. And, it would have been kind of awkward to just join a team in the middle of the season and have 4 broadcasters. So
that would have been
special. But, we do thank them for offering that in the first place. Yep. However, we didn't know that if we said we wanted to do our own broadcast that they just would have went, all right, it's done. So we weren't sure, but that's how everything seemed to transpire.
We'll try and have some better communication next time.
And right now we looks like Forest Lake is going to be kicking off.
Here we go. Let's get this one underway. The only thing I don't like about these ones, other than the fact that we're not at the game, is I commented on it before we went on, the awkward silence behind us.
Right.
And not being in the booth and having the ambient crowd noise. But we'll make the best of it, and I can't wait to get this one kicked off. I think we got a great opportunity to come in Lakeville North, historically a better team, but maybe we catch them playing down to some competition, and we get out of here and go on the road to the neutral site of Spring Lake Park. Here we go. Goodwin. Now to kick this one off, he kicks deep to Lakeville North. The Panthers will let this one bounce into the end zone.
That'll
be a touchback. And good kick by Goodwin. The Panthers will start out on their own 20.
It's not seeing too much wind on the field here right now. We don't have much wind, and it looks like a great night for football. Looks like it's about 43 degrees-ish, and not much wind, so good night to be had. And we'll see what the Ranger Wrecking Crew starts off with. We got Howie Johnson.
Riley Grossman turns, handoff going up the middle. Handed it off to number 24, Sauer Wilkie, on the play. He gains about 2, And that's where the Rangers will converge on him there. So now we'll try and start painting the better picture for you guys as the audio listeners this week. Lakeville will be going right to left on your YouTube dial.
All right.
Rangers in their all-white away uniforms with their yellow helmets. Grossman under center with two wings and a running back set up directly behind him. Grossman takes the snap. It's going to be a quick pitch out to Wilkie, and he's going to be bottled up and goes nowhere. Gain of maybe one on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers, and this Ranger wrecking crew on top of it already.
That was great pressure and great contain on the outside. Hunter Hanegraaff had great contain on the outside. It took 3 guys to kind of block him, and that let Colby Christensen slide on in from his linebacker position. He got a hold of his jersey, and he just didn't want to let go. And then by that time, then you had Nate Schleif that came in from his nose tackle position and kind of just bottle them up. And actually, it looks like Gruba and Nate Schleif are switching around. I like what B-Scou's doing here.
I formation for Grossman with one receiver to the right side. He'll roll that way, throw that way. Caught along the sideline. He's got a receiver open, but it's going to be short.
4 yards short of the first down. Yeah, I like what B-Scou's doing here. He's swapping up the Ranger wrecking crew quite a bit. We got Nate Schleif, Hunter Gruba, and Howie Johnson, and Hunter Hanegraaff in his outside linebacker spot, all kind of swapping around on the defensive line there.
That was Fry's first reception of the game. It looks like the Panthers are going to go for it deep in their own field position.
Wow.
4th and 3. Ball on the 27-yard line. Now Grossman drops back into a punt formation. Rangers look like they may have been expecting that with a deep returner back there. And now we get a stoppage of play and a flag.
Hopefully that is not
maybe a false start.
Encroachment. It looks, yep, false start on the offense.
Nice. All right, so that'll back them up 5, and they'll for sure be punting this time. Tried to catch the Rangers sleeping. You know, lots of teams like to punt even from the quarterback spot, right. Shotgun, just quick pooch punt it.
Well, and I mean, high school football, you know, not every team has a great punter.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you don't have a great punter, you might as well have your quarterback in there and get you, you know, if he can kick it 20, 30 yards, you know, they're not going to have a returner back there. So if it bounces the right way, you could end up with a 40-yard punt. And that's more than you might get if you had a punter.
Exactly, yeah. Grossman back into punt. Gets this one away. Decent punt. It'll land before the 50 and take a Ranger bounce. And they will corral it at the 49 of the Panthers. And the Rangers will start out in positive field position here on the other side of the 50. First and 10 for DeMonso. And the Ranger offense is Gerald was hurt last week. We're hearing a sprained MCL is what we
Yep. And one thing for the Rangers, a big key to the Rangers here is DeMonso is going to be more of a running quarterback. Also, the run game in general, he is not afraid to block. So it's almost kind of like a wishbone when he's in there. So he could be running and.
Rangers are going to hand off up the middle out of an I formation. Patzer is going to lean forward, gain 2, and go down. And that'll bring up a 2nd and 8.
So what I was getting back to is we can't get behind the sticks. We need to keep it. We need to keep a solid 2, 3, 4 yard gain. That's just going to kind of be what Forest Lake's offense is going to be without Jarrell this week. We're gonna hopefully get some chunk plays out of Patzer, and DeMonso is definitely going to get some plays up the middle that he's going to get rip off 10 or 12.
DeMonso pitch out to Cordy.
Oh my gosh.
And Lakeville takes the pitch out of Cordy's hands and returns it 50 yards for the first touchdown of the game. Not how the Rangers wanted to start this one.
That is not how we're going to be in this game. We needed those bounces to go our way, and that one was definitely a negative.
Well, that wasn't even a bounce.
Aspect.
They just straight up stole it. That was, let me get a number on that one. That was Reese Hunt basically intercepting the pitch and taking it 52 yards. for a touchdown.
And the reason they had that is it looked like they had the straight blitz on, and that's going to be part of the problem. If you can't pass the ball, you're going to, in these quick pitches, quick passes, if you can't pass the ball, which right now it's going to be a little bit harder to pass the ball with DeMonto in there instead of Jarrell, you're going to be seeing a lot of 8 and 9 man fronts, and you're going to be seeing a lot of blitzes all night, I think.
Yeah, no, I think, here we'll get the extra point. Snap down, hold, kick up, and good. So they will tack on the extra point, and Rangers find themselves down 7-0 here with 9 minutes and 37 seconds left in the first quarter. Got to remember to keep updating time. But like you said, we're going to have to come up with something with the quick pass, short, quick throws that Nolan can make. Otherwise, this offense is going to quickly become one-dimensional, and the defense is going to be able to pin their ears back and come after the quarterback.
Right. I mean, that was the absolute worst possible outcome for that great field position that we had. There you go. It could not have gone worse, I don't think.
Yeah, the positive, sticking with the positives, the Ranger defense on the first series.
Right.
I mean, if they can play like that all night, we're in this game for sure.
We're in this game, but we also
offense just needs to come through.
We also need one of those plays to get back.
Yeah,
our defense needs.
We need a defensive score here.
Needs to come back and give us one of those back, because we're definitely going to need to put up some points against Lakeville North. And without a defensive score, I am not sure it can get done.
Lakeville will kick off. It'll be taken by Lashinsky around the 20-yard line, and he'll angle straight to the left side and be corralled there and brought down. That's going to be first down and 10 Rangers from the 22, and we will see this Ranger offense and DeMonso back out. So I've been promising it most of the season, and I finally got it updated.
Oh, some stats.
Some stats and records for the Rangers. We'll get to that after this first down play as Nolan brings the boys out. He's got 2 receivers, 1 left, 1 right. He's out of the pistol with Patzer in his left hip pocket. Rangers make an adjustment at the line. Nolan will take the snap, hand off Patzer, going to the right side, and he's going to be bottled up immediately and brought down, gain of nothing, 2nd and 10 upcoming. All right, what do you want to go with first? I got passing, receiving, and rushing stats.
Let's go with passing stats first.
Passing stats, all right. Well, we got 2nd down and 12 here. Nolan with a receiver out to his left side and a running back on either side of him working out of the pistol. He'll send his running back in motion. Quick swing pass out to him. It's caught up the sideline, gain of close to a first down.
First down. That'll move the chains, I believe.
And it does. Rangers with a swing pass. I hesitated on the call because I didn't have a number. I got to get back to that.
I don't
Number 30 for your Rangers might have been his first carry. He's not on the
not on our
active roster. So I would bet that is a player we're going to be seeing a lot more in the next few years as maybe a sophomore pull-up here going in.
Could be a late season call-up. Somebody that's lighting the world on fire down in JV. And
Rangers with trips to the right. Quick swing back out to his receiver.
Okay,
called incomplete.
So I do like what they were doing there. Nolan DeMonto made sure he was getting back. It looks like they were practicing this a lot, and it looks like that's going to be
forward passes.
Yeah, making sure they're forward passes, because in the past, Jarrell and there's been quite a few that were kind of questionable if they were forward or if they were lateral. So it looks like Nolan's doing a really good job, just backing up far enough just so he can make sure he's behind the pass there.
2nd and 10, Nolan keeps himself up the middle. Gain of maybe 2 on the play, and it's going to be a 3rd and long for the Rangers.
That looked like an option that it looks like maybe.
I think Nolan wanted to keep that one and just
Yeah.
get his first carry of the night out of the way because there was no way he was handing that to Patzer.
Yeah, it looked like they had Patzer stuffed, but then it kind of opened up late.
Here we go, 3rd and 9. Rangers bring out a bit more of a spread package here. 3 receivers, 2 right, 1 left. And Patzer behind.
Rendell checked
Nolan.
in on the right side there, number 5. He's a big part of the passing game.
Nolan takes a snap, avoids pressure, throws. He's got Rendell. How close was he to the first down? It'll depend on the spot.
Looks like
Lakeville thought they had the ball for a second, but they're going to call him down, and I believe that is a first down for your Forest Lake Rangers.
Yeah, looks
Let's
close.
get
They're
the call.
saying
Are they going to call it 4th and 1?
it looks like it's saying 4th and 3 on the broadcast, but yeah, I guess it is.
Okay, 4th and 3, and Rangers elect to go for it. I thought he was a whole lot closer than that. Ball on the 39. 2 receivers left, 1 right.
I wouldn't be surprised if they're just trying to pull him off sides here.
Nolan goes hard count. Gets a play. Takes the snap, looks to pass, throw right. He's got a receiver, and it's incomplete. He was looking for McPhee on the left side, and just off the fingertips, it's going to fall incomplete.
Kind of behind him, but Connor McPhee had a chance to make the reception. Still a tough ball to get after because it was a little bit low and behind him, so he kind of had to stop it and move directions to make that touch there.
Right there, you do see the difference between Jarrell and Nolan in their ball placement and arm. He almost snagged that ball. It looked like the ground may have caused that one to pop out.
Yep.
Here we go. The Panthers back on the field for their first down and 10, ball on the 39. It's going to be a pass thrown deep down the left sideline, caught, touchdown. Panthers, unless he dropped it.
No,
they called it in. Touchdown.
That's Reed Olson on the coverage, and that was just a straight go route, and that was a heck of a pass from the quarterback there.
Not how the Rangers want to start. Yeah, that was Grossman connecting deep downfield with Lane Johnson for the touchdown.
That was a heck of a deep ball there.
Yeah, that was a great ball, and I mean, it was pretty good coverage by the Rangers. Better receiver came out.
He led his receiver, and
the
the receiver just got behind him. Like, there's really not much you can do. If you're even, they're leaving, and he was definitely leaving on that one. And Grossman just chucked it up and put it
where it needed to be.
Where it needed to be.
Put it in a bucket, as they say. Yeah. Huge touchdown for Lakeville, and they take the lead 14-0 here in the first quarter. Got a few minutes left, but I'm going to keep remembering to check the game clock.
Right?
The weird thing that we don't normally have to do during our normal broadcast because it's on the scoreboard, and we don't have that for the audio. But, all right, well, we got a quick commercial break. You want to get to some stats?
Sure.
All right, well, as of now, Cole Jarrell fits in at number 5 all-time season passing with 515 so far this season. He's got Caleb Casa, Colton Trapp, Sean Smith, and Keegan Zeidler ahead of him. Cole is number 2 currently in season passing touchdowns with 7, as Lakeville kicks off.
It looks like he stepped out of
bounds before he picked the ball up. Huge, big brain play by Lashinsky.
Yeah, steps out of bounds. If you're stepping out of bounds while you're catching the ball, the kick is then considered out of bounds, and it should be on the 35, I believe.
Yeah, that ball checked up right before it got to the sideline. Lashinsky saw the guy streaking down towards him, made sure to put a foot out of bounds before grabbing that ball.
Big brain play there by Lashinsky.
Huge play. All right, so Rangers with some good starting field position, ball on the 35. Nolan comes out for his second drive in the night, and we'll see what the Rangers can do with it here. 2 receivers, 2 his right, 1 left. Nolan keeps himself, tries to fight back against the strong side of the defense, and he's wrapped up and brought down. It's going to be 2nd and 10 with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left to play here in the first.
This defensive line from Lakeville is just bringing 6 or 7 every time.
Yeah.
I mean, they are bringing the heat, and they know that. I believe they know that it's going to be hard for the Rangers to throw downfield, and they are stacking the house.
I formation with a couple of heavies to the right side of Nolan, 1 receiver top of your screen to the left. Handoff Patzer. He'll fight forward and gain a couple, but that's still not where you want to be sitting now at 3rd down and right around 9 to go. I mean, this is exactly where Lakeville. Lakeville wants to be. If we were playing Lakeville South, I feel like I'd have it nailed. But for some reason with North, the North, I don't know. Here we go. 3rd and 8. DeMonso out of the pistol. 3 receivers to the right side. Throw over to Cordy, who handles it, runs forward, 1st down. Spins along the sideline and is out. Gain of 15 on the play and a Ranger 1st down.
And that'll move the chains. Oh, all right. So, that
some
one.
Positivity on offense there.
That one was positive, definitely a positive play, but that one also was probably a lateral. I don't believe that was a forward pass.
That one was questionable.
So it's one thing that, especially with Nolan maybe not being as accurate, we're definitely going to have to, that may or may not be a factor as it comes in. Oh, wow. See,
quick pass to the outside.
Right there is a situation where the screen person got hit, and that was just barely forward. And had that not been forward, that would have been a Lakeville turnover.
Rangers on 1st down run the same play, that quick bubble, and that one was broken up immediately. Their defensive end that scored the touchdown for him, number 7, he is Reese Hunt is borderline lining up offsides every play.
I think a lot of that is camera angle.
Probably.
Too.
Nolan keeping left side here on 2nd down, hits a wall at about a yard past the original line of scrimmage, and that again brings up a 3rd and 9. And the Rangers will have to dig back into the playbook to find their longer yardage plays that they can hit with Nolan in at quarterback. 4 minutes, 40 seconds to go.
I think I got to put the heavy package in just to get a pass off and put Gruba and Rendell in on one side and just try and release Rendell on the outside. And, maybe not have as many wide receivers because it'd be better to have your best person be double covered and still have a shot at making the catch than to never be able to throw the football at all.
Yeah, well, as we say that, they line up for 3rd down, and B-Scout is going to call a timeout because the Rangers couldn't get lined up properly. So this is hopefully they get that worked out. All right.
And let's just say that, once again, Nolan is not the normal quarterback.
Yeah.
So this is our backup quarterback that, hadn't had most of the first rep snaps at all, except for when Gerald was hurt. He had about, 3 games?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, back to the stats.
All right. So the most impressive statistical leader here that we have at Forest Lake right now, obviously the man himself, Leighton Patzer, the workhorse for the Ranger football team the past 2 seasons and even some playing time in his sophomore year. And he has set some records here. Again, I will do the disclaimer here before we get lined up for 3rd down. All of these stats are brought to us by MN Football Hub, and they only go back to the early 2000s. So I don't know anything 80s, 90s wise. 3rd down and 9. Nolan DeMonso out of the shotgun with 2 receivers. They run the running back out
Patzer
to the
up the
left
m-
side, but Patzer will keep left.
It's a good gain, but it's not enough.
They tried to set the swing pass up to get the defense moving and almost do a counter back the other way with Patzer, and it got him 6, but still not enough, and it's going to bring up a 4th down, and the Rangers are looking like they're going to go for it.
You almost have to go for it. You're getting into limited. Like, if you give Lakeville the ball back right here and they score a touchdown, it's over. So you might as well see if you can extend your life in this game a little bit more. That's what we're going to be trying to do here, is just extend.
Oh, now the Rangers do some trickeration with the pooch
drop
punt.
Back, pooch it, and
the Rangers do get it away.
Good pooch punt.
Good bounce, Ranger bounce down to the 20 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. All right.
So he got a nice 30-yard punt out of that, and that's pretty solid. But what I was saying, like, I would not have disagreed with going for it there, just because with what Lakeville's offense has shown you.
You gotta get some momentum.
You're gonna have to get some momentum here at some point, and making a 4th down and 5 there, that's gonna give you a little momentum back. You were talking about Patzer being one of the best players on the field, and I have a retort, because the Rangers defense.
1st and 10 here for Lakeville. They go with no receivers, with one running back in the backfield. Handoff right side, up the middle. Gain of maybe 1 or 2 on the play before the Ranger wrecking crew can converge on them there. You were saying?
The Rangers defense has 2 guys.
Oh, yeah.
2 guys.
I guess I meant offensive player, yeah.
Well, one of them that I will mention plays both ways.
That's true.
Mark Rendell has been an absolute beast at his linebacker spot, and number 92, Howie Johnson, who is a junior this year.
Grossman under center on 1st down with one receiver to his right side and a back behind him in the backfield. Takes the snap under center, pitch outright, trying to work the edge, and he's going to go down, gain of nothing.
Colby Christensen and Jackson Christensen on the stop there. But what I was saying before is Howie Johnson and Mark Rendell have been a big reason why the Forest Lake Rangers are still playing this late in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The amount of tackles for loss that Howie Johnson and Mark Rendell have are insane. And if that was a stat, I wish it was that they tracked, because
they do have some defensive stats. I still got to add those to the sheet. I'm not totally up to date yet, but I got most of the offense done. Here we go. 3rd and 7, big down here. Handoff, no, play action, and Rendell comes through,
big hit,
knocking the ball up, incomplete, completely soars on it. I mean, Grossman had a streaking Mark Rendell in his face, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 7.
That was a tough one to complete. Mark Rendell had his hands up, good position, so the quarterback can't just wind up and throw in a normal motion. He has to kind of cock it back and chuck it up in the air, put a little bit more air under it, and that was definitely long because Mark Rendell was in his face there.
4th and 7, 1:48 left to play in the 1st quarter. Grossman's going to drop back to punt this ball. Grossman off the foot. It would be
Deep
fair
punt.
caught by Lashinsky at the 42, and that's where the Ranger offense will set back up with 1:41 left in the 1st quarter, and the Rangers offense has to do something to get this show on the road. They want to make this a game by halftime, down by 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to say that the Forest Lake is going to have to start making it 4-down territory in some of these drives here, because with the limited passing game that we have, we are going to be taking it 2 and 3, 4 yards at a time, and hopefully you can get 5 or 6 in there, but you might have to take 4 shots at it and get 2 yards most of the time, and then get 3.
Yeah. As you say that, Rangers line up with a receiver left, a receiver right, and Pats are the lonely back behind Gerald takes the snap. Gerald is out. DeMonso hands off 8 yards for Patzer on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd and 3. Rangers moving, Same set, one left, one right for receivers, and a running back behind DeMonso in the pistol. Lashinsky comes in motion. Nolan keeps himself driving forward, keeps the feet turning.
Wow, that's
big
a
push.
Great play. He just kind of squirted right on through the middle there. He had
ball came out. That's why it came out.
Oh, okay.
Ball came out fast, and the Rangers were able to get on it. It's going to be a 1st and 10.
That'll move the chains.
That'll move the chains.
All right, so it looked like that was number 87 on the recovery.
Yeah,
he was,
one of our guard.
No, I think he's a tight end. He was pulling as like kind of a trap, and pulled came up and was coming up from the back, and he was meant to go for the second level.
Rangers in a wing formation, take the snap, handoff, Cordy going right side. He's got the speed and the edge, breaking tackles, and he's down to the 35-yard line, and the Rangers are moving the ball.
That'll move the chains again. And, Cordy looked like he was all bottled up there right away. He made a great move to make that defensive end miss, and man, that was just a great play.
What we've been talking about with the way that they're sending the blitzes, the running backs are going to have to make a move in the backfield.
Right.
But if they can make that one move work and get to the second level, they get a safety and 2 corners to beat out in a foot race for a touchdown.
I mean, they're sending 7 and 8 every time here. So it is one of those things. Like if you can get by that outside contain, then that next level, there's not somebody there until maybe the safety that's coming from across the field. So
and with Cordy's speed, good luck.
Right. I mean, they're trying to just go in and swarm everything. If you can just pick your way through that swarm, there's not a lot of people behind you. So they are definitely susceptible to those long gains.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what the Rangers can do now that we actually got some momentum going behind us. All right, let's see if we can get back to some of these stats. Back to what I was saying with Leighton Patzer. He now holds both career and season records for touchdown and rushing yards since the MN Football Hub era began.
Stat recording for Force Lake.
Yes, exactly. And we will get back to that here momentarily. 1st and 10 for the Rangers. Ball on the 35. DeMonso in an I formation with a receiver left and a receiver right. DeMonso under center, takes a snap. Quick pitch out to Patzer, who breaks a tackle, heads up the right sideline, and he'll gain 6.
I mean, making these first defensive players miss is huge, and Cordy and Patzer have both done that in the last 2 plays.
The outside run has been exposed for Lakeville.
I mean, it's a situation where these defensive ends are big, and I mean, big is an understatement. Look at that number 91 there.
Let's see if
he looks like he's about 6'4", and I would say maybe 240, 250-ish. Like, that is a big boy.
6'4", 265.
Okay, so I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
My TV brain. Oh, wow.
Patzer handoff right side, breaking tackles, first down Rangers, and a pickup of 8 again. And the Rangers are moving the ball. 11 minutes and 7 seconds left in the second quarter.
Hey, Noah, now this is what you call matriculation.
The matriculation of the ball, yes.
The old
we knew it was going to come in.
The old Hank Stram quote from Kansas City, and oddly enough, that was in Super Bowl IV, Kansas City versus Minnesota, I believe.
Handoff, Patzer up the middle, riding his blocks, and he's got a chance. Touchdown, Rangers!
Wow, that was exactly what Forest Lake needed here. They needed an answer just to stay in this game, show them that they can play with them. And here comes Leighton Patzer right up the middle with that Forest Lake offense, and finding out that, hey, you know what, maybe we can beat that blitz a little bit.
The whole series, they went outside left, outside right, outside left, outside right, spread the defense, and then when it counted, I formation right up the A-gap.
And that was a great job by the offensive line getting to the second level. Like, there was a couple of guys that they let free on the outside, and they basically came in and hit the rest of the backers that were in behind. If you watch, there's a couple of guys that were let free, and 62 there, he comes in and goes up to the next level and takes on a linebacker and was in the way of the other linebacker, so he technically took out 2 guys with 1 block. Great job by the Forest Lake offensive line there.
Oh, Rangers staying alive for Spring Lake Park next week. The what is it? The what do they call that? Neutral stadium. Yeah,
neutral site bingo. It
Yes.
will be Spring Lake Park for us if we can pull this game off here at at Lakeville North, and this would be an amazing upset. I believe the Pioneer Press had this game at 28-10. Lakeville was the prediction. So we need to.
Here we go. Goodwin kicks off back down to the Panthers. They'll take it at the 5-yard line and return it out, heading out left.
Nice
Ranger
tackle
coverage
there.
on
That
it.
looks like Jackson Christensen
It
coming
was.
up, making a big play, just making the first hit, wrapping up, and never letting go.
Drops him down at the 15, and the Panthers are going to have to work the field if they want to score again. All right, so I'm trying to remember who we are up against if. Oh, I believe it was Maple Grove and Edina
Yeah.
is the other half of our bracket. And currently, the game that we'll be watching closely, Edina and Maple Grove. Maple Grove down 14-0.
Wow.
Panthers
That is
under
a
center.
shocker.
Receiver left, receiver right, handoff up the middle. Ranger Wrecking Crew there. He's going to push forward for a few, but
Rendell and Colby Christensen making a good stop. One thing is, I was saying the size of their defensive line. These offensive line, this is the biggest offensive line that the Rangers have seen. So the Ranger Wrecking Crew might have a few issues, but I still think Howie Johnson and Mark Gruba, they definitely will have something to say here, because those guys, it doesn't matter how big the player is in front of them, they're just ballers. They can play.
Lakeview out of their normal formation. Handoff Wilkie again going right side, and TJ Walters there to make first contact, and a host of Rangers bring him down. It's going to bring up 3rd down after a short gain, 3rd and 6. And if the Rangers can get a stop here,
And,
wow.
This is a situation here.
3rd and 1, excuse me.
This is a situation here where, you might not be saying the normal names such as, Howie Johnson, Gruba, Nate Schleif on the defensive line. But what they're doing is they're clogging up those offensive line, and hopefully Rendell Christensen can get in and make a tackle. And
Grossman handoff Wilkie up the middle, 1st down Panthers, and a gain of 4, and they'll keep the drive alive. Ranger Wrecking Crew doing a good job of not giving up a huge play after that big pass in the first quarter, but we got to shorten up these runs just a little bit.
Yep.
4 yards a carry is going to gash you.
I think what they're going to have to start doing is running a few stunts, just so we can try and get either Howie Johnson or Mark Rendell free as a rusher to get in and make some deep penetration on these running backs so they can go for some tackles for loss.
8 minutes, 46 seconds left in the half. Panthers go hard count. Handoff Wilkie. Met in the backfield by the Wrecking Crew and Gruba.
That's
Howie Johnson.
Gruba, Howie Johnson and Hunter Hanegraaff. And that's a name that we haven't been saying too much about. And I believe that this kid, Hunter Hanegraaff, is one of the best kids on the defense to pop up since we've been in the playoffs. He played his first real, he started his first real the whole game last week and did an amazing job last week. Came in and was playing that outside linebacker position and made a great job. Actually, it's number 43, not 44.
Here we go. Grossman under center, 1 receiver to his left and a running back. Grossman now rolls to throw, trying to find a receiver. He'll just head down the sideline, pickup of about 13 and out of bounds, 1st down Panthers. Good play there. Grossman just running. Well, we do have a flag on the play. Hopefully this one's coming back and would force a 3rd and very long.
And there was some contact between the receiver and the defensive back out there. I don't know if they're.
Well, the way that Grossman took off running almost looked like that was just a design keeper, but who knows?
Like up top, there's some.
I mean, he immediately went into blocking. I don't know exactly what that would be called. Maybe they got him on an early block. It does look like it's going to back him up 10. So this will be second down and long.
Yeah, that. I don't know. It's
the broadcast
curious.
we were watching
right,
cut out right as they were going to give the explanation of the penalty.
We couldn't get the hand signal of what the penalty
They decided to go to replay. Second down and 17. Rangers with a big chance to swing some momentum. Panthers in their usual formation, except the receiver is to the right side. Grossman now looks to throw downfield. He's got a receiver. First down, Panthers across the 50. Rangers just having a tough time tackling. And now ball comes out.
Ball is out. It looks like it's Ranger ball. Very well could be. They might call him down. I'm not sure.
Lakeville came away with it, but unless Forest Lake had a clear recovery, they're going to give it back to Lakeville. So
I think they might have called him down by contact.
Grossman showing off the arm on second and 17, and another beautifully placed ball for him. Just eating the Rangers alive on those big plays.
And the coverage wasn't even that bad there.
So the ball did come out. He was not down. It just looks like Lakeville may have jumped on it right away. All right, Grossman back under center. I formation for him this time. One receiver outright. Handoff to the fullback.
Howie Johnson and the
good luck
host of the Ranger wrecking crew there. That's Howie Johnson, Mark Rendell. I believe Jackson Christensen was in there. Gruba. Hunter Hanegraaff was in there. Like everybody. Ranger wrecking crew.
That's why we call him that.
Yeah.
We were getting sick of trying to name all the players coming up to make tackles last year, and we just dubbed them the wrecking crew. All right, 2nd and 7. We'll see what Lakeview opts to do here. Lakeville. Dang it. One receiver right. Running back lined up directly behind Grossman. Heavy offensive line.
Could have been a jump.
Wilkie, handoff, gains 5, goes down 3 yards short of the first down, and they'll bring up a 3rd and short.
I think the Rangers were offsides there, even if they didn't get 5 yards. I think they.
That hard count has been getting a lot of movement out of the Ranger defensive line.
Yeah.
They need to start keying on the ball rather than the snap count. 3rd and 3 for the Rangers. Panthers, same formation they've been running all night long with one receiver. Grossman under center. 5 minutes, 54 seconds left. Handoff. Wilkie met in the backfield.
That's Hunter Hanegraaff.
Huge stop by the Rangers.
Wow, that's exactly what I was talking about. This guy's coming in from the defensive end, outside backer position. It's kind of a melded 3-4 with an extra backer on the outside. Something he's lined up on the line a lot, and he came in and made a great tackle there.
Come on, boys. 4th and 4. Lakeville's taking all the time that they want trying to line this up. It makes me think they're running a play. They are. Grossman under center. They're probably going to go hard count here and see if they can't get somebody to move. Grossman takes the snap, rolls to throw. Right, throws back across the field. Incomplete. He had a receiver open off the hands of number 21, Blake Cross.
And that'll be a turnover on downs. Ranger ball going from the 42, going the other way now.
Huge defensive stop for the Rangers.
Yeah, and you know what? That was still a good pass. I mean, the receiver had a chance to get it. I think he just kind of...
Just a little bit behind him.
Just a little bit behind him, but I think he didn't break his route. I think the quarterback was kind of expecting him to break his route because there wasn't anybody back there with him.
What would you say about a 5-minute matriculation of the ball?
Yes.
For a touchdown before half.
Matriculation of the ball down the field.
Nolan, handoff Patzer up the middle. Gains 4, goes down.
But you know, when I say that and when we ask for that, you know what happens, right?
Either a really fast score or something bad happens. I'm going to go with a fast score.
It's kind of like my 50-50 in my golf bag.
Yeah, exactly.
My 50-50 club in my golf bag. It's my 3 fairway wood. Like, either I just absolutely stripe it and crush it, or it's just a disaster.
Nolan takes a snap, handoff, Patzer up the middle again. He's going to go forward for another 4.
Does that mean first quarter? I think we're in the second.
We definitely are in the second quarter.
Okay, so yeah.
They might have it as
we're
first
playing
half.
it as college basketball rules.
Yeah. 3rd and 2 for the Rangers. Nolan out of the eye, takes it himself.
Wow.
First down.
That's a great push.
The tush push.
Little tush push there. You know, coined by the Philadelphia Eagles and Jalen Hurts. And you know what? If I could actually compare a quarterback comp, Nolan DeMonto,
And
as
Jalen?
far as running and size.
As far as running, yeah.
As far as running and size, Jalen Hurts kind of he runs hard like that, and you know, he's not like a normal quarterback. So
Nolan handoff passer, that one wrapped up in the backfield, loss of 2. They went out of the eye, and the Lakeville defense is keen on that formation now and just sending the house.
Right.
Now's the time for a quick drop back and a slant.
well,
Right where all those linebackers are vacating.
the thing is if they line up in the I formation, it's really easy just to crash that middle if you know they're not going to pass on you.
Pitch out to Patzer out of the eye, tries to get to the edge,
Does
bottled up, and still falls forward for a gain of 6 on the play.
Yeah, he did a good job. He's just staying close to that sideline. He knew his sideline was his friend, and you know, started to get close, and then just fell forward and fell to the inside of the field rather than falling out and, you know, stepping out of bounds.
So Nolan and the Rangers, I formation with a wing to the right side, receiver to the left side. Nolan under center, takes the snap, fakes the pitch, rolls to pass, throw out.
Oh,
dropped.
Man.
That was a first down.
That was Bashinsky? Or
I believe it was Bashinsky,
Caden Bashinsky.
the receiver. He had
He wants
nobody
that
around
one
him.
back.
4th and 6. It looks like the Rangers will send on the punt team. Oh,
Good job by Nolan there, just going to say, hey, shake it off.
yeah.
You know, Caden Bashinsky's made some good plays, and we're definitely going to need him later on in the game. So you got to keep his head in the games. He can't be on himself that, like, hey man, that was my bad. Like, you just got to let it roll and go and run another play.
Rangers on to punt. Goodwin gets this one away.
That's gonna drop in the middle.
Takes a
Lakeville bounce.
Lakeville bounce. I wish there was a way that I could just forget Lakeview. Just forget it completely. That way I just never have to worry about it.
I don't understand why it's in your head.
I don't know why either. I did it today at work. Unbelievable. 1st and 10.
I think you got a little of the nerves hitting you.
It might be the nerves from being in a bunker sequestered from people. 1st and 10. Ranger defense out on the field. 2 minutes, 22 seconds left in half. The Panthers looking to score. They run it up the middle. Good luck. Ranger wrecking crew there to wrap them up. That's 11 hats on the ball, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
See, and the other thing I think is, you know, you didn't actually drive to Lakeville,
That's true too.
and we don't actually have a roster in front of us.
We don't have a roster to be
in
reading
Lakeville North.
constantly.
You know, there's a number of reasons why it could be once you get that in your head. But maybe on halftime we'll just drill you on where we're.
I'll just say it 35 times during the break, and we'll get back to it. 2nd down and 9. The Panthers motion a tight end across. Under center, Grossman pitches.
Oh, Jackson Christensen had some good contain there.
Fantastic contain. Brings him back in. Ranger wrecking crew makes a stop.
That's a good job. Like, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you don't make the tackle, but you're forcing, like, if he gets the edge there, he's gone. But Jackson Christensen beat off his block, forced him back in. Yeah, he got a few more positive yards, but if he gets the edge and gets around Jackson Christensen there, he is gone for quite a few yards.
All right, 3rd and 5, another big down coming up, and I would bet the Panthers try and pass it here. Or maybe they try running for 5 and just take this into halftime. They don't seem to be playing with much urgency as we tick under 50 seconds left in the half. Now a timeout's called.
Like timeout, yeah.
Well, the Rangers are very much in this game. Lakeville North calling that timeout. And giving us a quick break. And the Rangers time to decide what they want to draw up here to defend on defense.
Maybe it's a good time during halftime we can go over all of those stats that you have.
That's what we should do.
That's what we
Instead
should
of getting
be doing.
cut off constantly.
Right. Big brain right here. Big brain play.
All right. Not as big brain as Lashinsky in that first with that kickoff. That was amazing to see in a high school game.
Right, exactly.
That's the kind of stuff you see during an NFL game. I know Randall Cobb did it like twice.
Yeah.
But, for a high school kid to know that obscure rule and pull that off, fantastic job. 3rd and 5, teams break huddles. 49.6 seconds left to play in the half. Grossman leads the Panther offense back out down the field. He's got one receiver to his right side and a running back lined up directly behind him.
And Gruba and Nate Schleif switch around. So Nate Schleif is going to be in nose tackle, and Gruba is going to be on the outside again. Like I've said, they've been swapping around just to see who can get in there. And
Grossman rolls the pass, throw back across the field. He's got a receiver open, heading down the sideline. Taken out of bounds just across the 50 with 38 seconds left. And now the Panthers shifted into high gear, trying to score.
He was out of bounds
half,
way back there, wasn't he?
I believe
he was out of bounds. They were marking it way up.
He stopped like he was out of bounds and didn't hear a...
They're giving him an extra 3-4 yards there.
That was Ripplinger on the reception for the Panthers. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep calling them the Panthers.
There you go.
I don't have to worry about the city then.
Right.
Grossman with 2 receivers now to his left and a running back still lined up directly behind him. He's under center. Takes the snap, rolls left to pass, plants his feet, throws deep downfield.
Shucks it deep.
And the reception is made.
Wow, how did he catch that? I thought Reed Olson had that batted down.
Just mistimed it ever so slightly. And the deep ball pays off for the Panthers.
Wow. Great pass. Great catch.
That's 2 now for that receiver and the quarterback that have just been perfectly placed balls, and the catch to look through the defensive coverage and still come up with that one over the shoulder is a definitely.
Wow, and he's a lefty too.
Yeah, Grossman is a lefty. It's disappointing. Kick is up. Extra point is good. 21-7 Rangers with 31 seconds left before half. And now what do you do if you're the Rangers? Do you come out and do you try a little big play yourself, or with Nolan not having the arm that Gerald has, do you just run it twice and head into halftime?
I mean, if you try and run a big play here, that can be a real big drawback. Like if you come out and say he drops back, doesn't quite get all of it on it, and say he tries to rush the pass,
or he's hit as he throws,
and it fumbles, goes back. Like you could go down 3 touchdowns here.
Yeah.
In this game, rather than just going down into 2, and the Rangers get the ball at a half, so. You know, it's one of those situations where you can still, like, if you come back at halftime, you can bring this into a 1-score game right out of halftime. It would be nice to try and take a shot, but that's really not the Forest Lake offense right here.
A kick return would be fantastic. This one heads out of bounds.
And that is going to be out of bounds. We'll take it at the 35.
And does that change anything now that you got better starting field position than
Better
taking it from
field
like
position.
the 15?
Like I was thinking we were on the 20. Like now, maybe
We
I
got a
try
field
and-
goal kicker. Trying to run a couple quick plays and
I mean,
2 timeouts.
personally, with this offense right now, I would be running the old Miami Dolphins hook and ladder miracle.
So that play has more
I mean, granted, it has
downside than upside half the time.
It does, but like, really, we're gonna just chuck
That's
it
true.
downfield 40 yards? No,
That's true.
we're not gonna get it down 40 yards. Like,
Well, let's see what the Rangers
we have
do.
a whole bunch of playmakers that can run the ball like crazy. So, like,
1st and 10. Lashinsky goes in motion.
yeah, it looks like we're just gonna be content on
Yeah,
taking it
DeMonso.
into half.
Takes it up the middle. And the clock will continue to run. I don't think anybody's going to stop it. And the Rangers and the Panthers will head to halftime.
And man, I can tell you what, this is probably the biggest offensive and defensive line we have seen all year long. These guys are big.
Yeah.
This is a bit of a mismatch on the
It's one of the first times we've had a mismatch like that.
especially on the defensive line. This is the first time that our defensive line has been outsized.
Week 1, Prior Lake's
Prior Lake,
DNs were
yeah.
huge.
Prior Lake had some solid boys up front too. But this is one of the first weeks that like Howie Johnson looks not like a man among boys normally, like
Yeah.
he has been. And Howie Johnson's 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", something like that. 230, 240. And I mean, he's a junior, but he's not the biggest guy on the field anymore. And he has been for quite some time. So this is definitely, maybe against the Stillwater game they had some big guys on the line. But
Well, real quick, let's run through some scores from around the league. Lakeville. God, I almost did it again. Lakeville South is up on Shakopee currently 16-0. Minnetonka over Eastridge 7-3. And that's all I got other than the marquee matchup that we got our eyes on this week. Edina versus Maple Grove. Edina up 21-7. So the winner of our game plays either Edina or Maple Grove
right,
next week.
Maple Grove, your returning
Champions. Yeah. And, they go into half with the same score as us, 21-7. Could Maple Grove and Forest Lake both have second-half comebacks and play each other again in the playoffs for the second straight year? That'd be pretty crazy.
It would be pretty crazy. I would prefer that we just came back, though.
I'd like to play Edina.
Right. I would much rather play a Dino.
Alrighty, so let's get into some of these stats real quick. Now that we got a halftime break, let's play a little guessing game here.
Ooh, guessing game. I like it.
Where would you put? I think we might have ran through these. I'm going to go through the passings real quick.
Okay.
Where would you put Keegan Zeidler on season passing yards for just his season, not career,
Just a season?
but season? He was the starting quarterback for the Rangers last year.
Yes, I am aware. However, I believe that was probably one of the best passing attacks that we've had in a while. I'd have to say that'd be number 2. And
Number 2. Who do you think's number 1?
I believe his brother.
No. So, Keegan Zeidler ranked number 1 with 1,253 passing yards. Big brother Peyton, number 6 with 447
Oh,
was his best passing season. Peyton ran the ball a lot.
okay.
He was very good at that.
And
And we ran a very
Right.
option offense at
Right.
that point.
I mean, the Forest Lake offense has definitely changed quite a bit.
How about our coworker and family member here? Where do you think announcer Caleb Casa ranks in season passing yards amongst the four slate quarterbacks?
Number 3. Maybe 2. 2, because if he was number 4 all time, I think you said he was number 4 all time, and then that would have to make him be number 2 since Keegan Zeidler was like number 1. And I'm going to say number 2.
Caleb's number 4.
Is he number 4?
He comes in at number 4 with 596 passing yards. However, there's an asterisk next to that because Caleb in that 2020 team played 3 less games than any of these other teams.
Oh, yeah.
So,
less games, yep.
so he does have that behind, which is impressive to be fourth in the running at that point. Okay. Now, on to the rushing attack here. If you had to take a guess on the top 3 rushing touchdowns in a season. Your running back rushing touchdowns in a season.
Okay.
Who are the top 3 that you can think
I can
of?
name them?
Try.
Well, Patzer's going to be up there.
Okay.
And then Brisboy is probably up there somewhere. Maybe?
How about this? The top 2.
The top 2? I can't do it.
Trick question. Leighton Patzer.
Leighton Patzer
has both of them.
Okay.
2022, he ended the whole year with 12 rushing touchdowns. This year he's at 10 with 1 added in the first half of the game that we are currently watching. So he would be at 11.
Okay, so you're counting not regular season, you're counting entire season.
Yeah. For mine at least.
Okay.
We'll give the teams that made the playoffs and made a run in the playoffs a little bit more credit. That's the way I look at it.
I mean, it's okay, but it kind of skews the
numbers a little bit, but that's another thing with the hub here, the MN Football Hub. When you go in there, it's tough to rank it or filter postseason out.
Okay.
You'd have to go game by game by game by game by game, and if I do that, it would take the whole off season.
Right. Okay.
Career rushing touchdowns, Panthers the runaway with 25. Next closest was Troy Plesky with 14.
That was before my time broadcasting here.
Plesky was, I think, your first season.
I don't believe so.
I
think
you
it was
know
a
what?
year
I think
before.
you were. I think you're right. Yep. Plesky was 2018. So yeah, that'd be a couple years before.
Right.
Okay. Then when I was going through it, another thing, if you don't believe that Coach Biscow has made a change here in Ranger football, I'd like to direct your attention to the receiving stats and the fact that Jake Johnson and Weston Hoyt
Last year, yep.
are interchangeable 1 and 2 in just about every statistical receiving category.
Yeah, and that also has to do with Zeidler having a very solid arm.
And I would also argue that has even more to do with the fact that when B-Scout showed up, we turned into a passing program pretty quick.
Absolutely.
Especially last year. We were throwing all the time.
Yep. Okay, so I have a stat for you.
Go for it.
Okay, so this year, this is from MN Football Hub, period. We'll just go with number 1 and 2 we've already talked about as far as tackles for loss. We will just give you a guess on how many. And I will give you one hint. That one total is double the other total.
You want So what do you ask?
So
How many?
So Mark Rendell and Howie Johnson
Yep.
are number 1 and 2
Correct.
in tackles for loss.
Mm-hmm.
One of them has double the other one's total. What is the total of each? Like, I'm looking for 2 numbers here.
I feel like I should know this because I just looked at this sheet as I was trying to put the defensive stats together.
Hey, you know what? When you whisper, you're whispering right into the mic so they can still hear you.
That's the whole point.
Let's go with. I'm gonna go a little bit more obscure. I'm gonna say 22 and 11.
No.
Oh, was that close?
Kind of.
Okay,
14 and 28, which is a phenomenal
that's
number.
insane.
Like, tackles for loss, 28 on a season for
I feel
a
like there's
defensive
starting
end.
linebackers in the NFL that don't even get that.
Like, and if you look at it, the sacks are absolutely crazy too. Howie Johnson has 7 sacks along with 28 tackles for loss.
I was quickly going through these stats, just eyeballing them over a couple seasons while I started to try and put them into a spreadsheet. I'm about halfway done with the defense ones. When it comes to D-line, like defensive line stats, such as tackles for loss, assisted tackles, total tackles, all
Right.
of those stats, I almost don't want to do the research on those because I know that I'm just going to be finding the rest of the top 10. And as a sophomore, Howie's going to have that record.
Right. Well,
And by the time he leaves as a senior,
yeah,
those numbers are going to be obscene.
right. And I mean, the other thing is that you're going to find the same people. Like, you're going to find that it's, one guy and like last year, the one guy was Sam Mills, and
Yeah.
Sam Mills played an amazing season last year at defense, had a ton of tackles for loss, and Nolan DeMonso is. I think he had a little bit more of an expanded role last year just because he wasn't playing quarterback. So Nolan DeMonso was a really huge part of the defense last year. Mm-hmm. This year it's kind of tailed off a little bit. So one thing that I really can say about this program and what B-Scout's doing here is he is allowing people to play to their strengths. And then if things go wrong, hey, everybody on the team is bought in to say, you know what, I don't care. I will go and do that because that's what the team needs. And that's one thing. That's one thing that it's hard to find in high school sports. Like, I just want to do this. Well, you know what? I don't care. The team needs you to do this. And it seems like Brad B-Scout's definitely got the buy-in from everybody that, hey, this is what the team needs and this is how we're going to do it. And I mean, the recruiting numbers as far as how many kids are actually in football right now is huge compared to prior years.
I wish I would have remembered exactly. I was talking to, I believe it was Hannon.
Like, if you could get those numbers, the numbers of actual football team members over the years, those would be interesting numbers too.
From what I've heard, the jump, I'm sure Brad was part of it.
Right.
But the shiny new stadium that got put up,
yeah,
the number for football players jumped a huge step from where they were.
Well, we have no idea because they happen in the same season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I see what you're saying there. It took me a second.
So we have no idea which was first, the chicken or the egg. However, what I can say is when that new stadium popped open, and they opened with a couple of big wins, that big win last year against SCMA, that first win, and then they popped off a couple of wins in the new stadium, Like, they were picking up players as the season went on just because, hey, wow, this is cool. Like, I used to play football. Maybe I'm going to go and try. And, they were picking up kids as the season went by.
Yeah.
And now those kids are saying, hey, you know what? I want to be on this team. I want to play for this team.
Well, and not only that, I'd like to go back to what you were saying with the few signature wins. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe the first play ever played at that stadium was a Weston Hoyt kickoff return for a touchdown.
I believe you are correct.
I might be off, but I'm almost positive. I'll have to look back at that tonight.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll bring that to you with what my conclusion is. It was either that or it was the first offensive play was a Cole Brisboy 80-yard touchdown. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
It could have been either one. That definitely could have happened. So what I was getting back to is now, before we were just, making that first game into the playoffs, hey, guess what? You're 6th seed. Boom. Like, we didn't have the team buy-in.
Yeah, we were
even
on the
last
road.
year. There was, we were talking about this, off mic, but there was less of the buy-in
Towards
in the
end of
Maple
the year.
Grove game.
Yeah. Yep.
Everybody thought that they were just going to get crushed, and you're not seeing the same players that were out
Well,
there.
not only that, but there were players that just it was the end of the season for them. They
Right.
didn't sign up for the off season or the postseason. They just wanted to play the 8 and get out of there. And now, from what I've heard this year, there's been maybe 1 or 2, but it's less. And
Right.
that problem has not been as big of a problem this year with making it to the second round of the playoffs. And I think we see it with some decent play. But by this time last year against Maple Grove, Forest Lake was down big.
Yep.
We're only down. I mean, I know we say we're only down by 2 touchdowns, but we've come back.
Right.
From this before.
And honestly, I mean, all it really takes is a couple, Patzer can easily make one, break one. Cordy can break one. I mean, we have players that can break them for long, long runs. And especially if they're going to blitz us like this, we can definitely beat them. If they don't blitz us, we're going to matriculate the ball all the way down if they don't blitz us.
Yeah.
If they do blitz us, we have to beat the blitz with a big play.
And not only that, another very important thing is, yes, they scored that last-minute touchdown, and it would have been better to go into halftime 14-7. But where we sit right now with us getting the ball back, if our defense can play the way that they have played so far tonight, for the most part, and the Rangers can replicate that touchdown drive, we still have plenty of time to run the normal offense that we're running with Nolan, and it might come down to the wire, but we don't have to get uncomfortable with trying to hurry our offense up
Right.
and get chunk plays here and there. Like, we can run our scripted offense at this point. But as soon as we start letting Lakeville have longer, more sustained drives or quicker drives scoring points and putting us deeper in a hole, that's where we're going to have to try and keep up with them in a sprint. And I don't know if the Rangers are going to be able to do that.
I mean, the other thing is I don't know, I can't remember what that receiver's name is, but we're going to have to chuck him at the line.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're letting him free release, and he gets even at about 15 yards, and he is gone. Absolutely gone at 25 yards, and the ball's in the air, and he's got a 5-yard
Lane
cushion.
Johnson.
Lane Johnson.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to start chucking him at the line, and chucking him pretty hard. So we might be opening ourselves up for some penalties there, but I think you're just gonna have to chuck him and get a free release to a guy behind him. You know what I mean? So it's just one guy chucks him at the line, and you hand it off to the other guy in the back, because that kid is good enough that you need double coverage. You might as well chuck him at the line first, and then have a release on somebody behind him.
We also just need to do a little bit better with planning our high point, because both of those
Reed Olson
touchdowns,
had a shot at.
they've been great, well-placed balls, but we got to say what they have been. 50-50 balls.
The first one was not 50-50.
He could have gotten a hand up to defend it if he would have played the ball a little bit better.
I think he was.
It was a better pass. It was definitely a better pass.
The second
one
he
went right
definitely-
over the fingertips.
The second one, two guys actually could have high pointed that ball and knocked it down.
It's just the timing of simple things like that lead to touchdowns. And now we're in we're down by 2 scores.
Yeah, but the first one I think was. I mean, there was no way that. I mean, even Michael Jordan could not have skied and knocked that ball out of the air.
Yeah, that first one was tough. I think he brought that one in one-handed too.
They were even like 20 yards back, and Lane Johnson had 5 yards.
Well, what I'm saying is
Reed Olson there.
Well, but by the time that the ball got to him,
Reed
had closed that gap up a little bit,
but not enough to actually be able to swat the ball.
Yeah.
If you look at the replay on that one, you'll find that
I'll have to.
It was
rewind
over.
And watch it again.
Oh,
here we go.
All right,
we are back to it.
Well,
Thank
enough
you for
of that.
enjoying the halftime show.
Yeah, that was our halftime show. I think that was the first time we actually did that, where we
talked all the way
through the entire half.
Let's see, 99 on Drew Colander on the kickoff for the Panthers. Rangers receiving coming out of halftime.
That is one tall kicker.
Rangers will take it. They'll go with the reverse. Cordy takes it across the 10, 15, up the sideline at the 20, and he
slips. Oh, man.
Oh, that was going to be a big play.
Got the edge. Oh, wow. Slipped down at like a 19. And if he could have just got his foot in the ground and planted around that corner, who knows what field conditions are. If it might be a little damp, that rubber in the AstroTurf, not AstroTurf, but in the
turf.
The turf. If that gets a little wet, it's still kind of slippery.
It's plastic.
Yeah,
you're running on wet plastic.
Isn't it like ground up tires? I thought it was
rubber. The pellets are rubber. Yeah, the blades of grass and stuff are plastic. Nolan, quick pass across the middle. Lashinsky.
He hangs on to this
Hangs on to it, and a flag comes in. I think they're going to get a hit on a defenseless receiver, and that'll move him up another 15.
Yeah, I think that
Rangers coming out passing.
Might have been a little bit of a late hit, I think, because he was down, and then another guy came in.
One of the two. Did we get a call? I think it's defenseless receiver.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll cut that out. We were trying to get the call from the referee there so we could hear it. But the Rangers coming out passing on a slant, and that's exactly what we talked about earlier, was those quick slants. If they're going to vacate the middle of the field with the linebackers, let them do it. Nolan, 2 receivers to his left side. Patzer directly behind him. First down and 10. Nolan takes a snap. Handoff Patzer. Dances in the backfield. Wrapped up. Gain of 2. But he was met in the backfield pretty quickly there by the Panthers and had to do a little shake and shimmy to get away from that first tackler.
Well, that's good to see Cordy's back on the field. I was kind of curious on if his ankle kind of twisted out on him and rolled on him, but he's back on the field. Good to see him back on the field and ready, because he will be a big part if this offense is going to get started and move down the field.
All right, Rangers bringing 3 receivers in now. 1 to the right, 2 to the left. Now Lashinsky goes to the right side.
Oh, wow.
And that's one that Nolan should have kept. They were going to hand it to Lashinsky on the reverse. And he was taken down in the backfield promptly. Loss of 5 on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
That was definitely one that I think he probably should have kept.
Number 7 for Lakeville,
Reese Hunt. And that guy has been all over the field.
Yeah.
And he's
part of the reason that they're up by 21.
Right. That
All right.
is.
Third and long, two running backs in the backfield, one on either side of Nolan and two receivers to his left. Nolan takes a snap, drops to throw, throws downfield.
Gets batted a little
Batted
bit.
in the air. Lashinsky couldn't find it towards the sideline, incomplete, and the Rangers, my guess, will punt the ball, and that's not how you want to start the first drive after half, being down by 14.
No, but, I mean, they kind of got behind the sticks there and had really no choice.
Here we go, defensive touchdown. This drive.
I mean, let's just get a little muff punt action turnover.
Yeah. Defense is going to help us out here. Rangers on the punt.
I'm actually kind of shocked that we haven't seen that Howie Johnson fake.
Well, they're lined up in it because normally
Right.
Howie's the one doing the cut
Right.
in the middle of the
Right.
personal protectors, and he's lined up right. So I feel like they might be setting it up for at some point in the game.
Ooh, looks like a 5-yard penalty, but I don't think that'll change
Do
much.
you rethink it at all at this point?
I don't think
the Rangers are,
I
but
don't think you rethink it at all. Well, I mean, if you're going to do it would kind of depend on your lineup.
Goodwin gets this one away. Fair catch called for at the 29. Hauled in by Aiden Forsegren.
I will call that if we have 2 more punts in this game, we will see a fake punt by Howie Johnson.
You think so?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not denying that they are lining up in that formation every single time.
And it's a shame that was a penalty last week because that was a beautiful that was a beautiful fake.
All right. So here we see the lineup. Man, it would be nice to play Egan and win this game because that would punch our ticket to the tournament.
Yep.
Come on, Rangers. Their scoreboard still says first quarter.
Right.
Ours still says second quarter. Third. Done. All right. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. I formation, receiver to the left side. That's the formation they'll stay in for most of this series. Grossman takes a snap. Handoff Wilkie up the middle. Gain of close to 10.
Hunter Hanegraaff on the tackle there. And once again, I will say that he has been a great addition since these playoffs have started. Hanegraaff has come in and made a huge performance on that outside linebacker position.
2nd down and 2 to go for the Panthers. Out of the eye. Rangers bring 7 men down into the box. Handoff up the middle. Wilkie making his way into the second level. And another pickup of 8 on the play. 1st down.
That was a good job of Lakeville there. They had great second level blocking.
Yeah, and this is where Lakeville is going to win the game, is if they can get the running game successful in this second half. The Rangers, they gotta do something to shut momentum down because Lakeview is going to be rolling if they keep running the ball like they are. Wilkie, they elect to throw to Wilkie incomplete.
Wow, he just dropped that. He was looking at. He was trying to run.
He was
trying to
looking to the
run
end zone.
before he caught it, and he was seeing a lot of green in front of him.
2nd down and 10. And
Rangers were showing blitz there, and then they pulled back in coverage. So that kind of. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they showed that and that was a check out, and then. He still passed it anyways, went to the screen.
2nd and 10, Panthers. Pitch going left side, and a screaming Caden Christensen coming up to make that tackle.
I think that was Jackson Christensen.
Yeah, Jackson
number 6.
Christensen. Excuse me.
Wow, he
Jackson
was just
is
knifing up the middle there. I mean, up the sides there. Wow.
If
he
there
just
is-
hit a brick wall.
if there's one player on the defense that does not look dejected right now, it is Jackson. Jackson is the one out there giving his team a pep talk, screaming at the D-line, clapping his hands, trying to get momentum going again. And he's making plays like that to try and keep his team in it. 3rd and 9 now. Rangers needing a stop. Panthers under center, take the snap. They go with a reverse. Played brilliantly for a second, but just suckered Reed Olsen there to make the stop along the sideline.
Still doesn't get him out.
Phil finally pushes him out of bounds. Huge
If
pickup
you get
for
him
the
trapped to the
Panthers.
sidelines, you just gotta get him to trap. You just gotta push him to the sidelines and let him go rather than try and stop him for a few extra yards. He's already made a big play there.
And we saw the Hunter Hanegraaff, the turf monster, striking again, taking a big play away from the Rangers.
Right.
He was there for that reverse and just lost his footing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's. I mean, and that's one thing. That's one thing that plays huge in home field advantage. You know which cleats to use. You know what works. Like if your cleats work or what kind of footing you're going to have. Who knows the way this field is? It might not be nearly. Oh,
Grossman looks to pass downfield, completely overthrows his receiver. He was looking for his main target Lane Johnson.
And that's what I was talking about. You just got to chuck him at the line because, like, he is their number one target. If they're going to pass, he is their number one target. I wouldn't mind sliding a linebacker out there and just chucking him at the line and then letting him release into the backfield. And you can just rush Jackson from that side, have him go up there and stick him, and then come from the outside. I mean, you would kind of help your outside contain a little bit, but you're also roll out.
Throw downfield, caught along the sideline.
That'll be a
first
down
down
for Lakeville.
Oh, it's just not turning out the way we wanted it right now.
No, it's not, and we still need. I mean, we're still in this. We need the defense to come up big here, and Jackson Christensen's out there just yelling, trying to get his team riled up. And I mean, it's nothing that I'm sure these guys are definitely riled up, but right now in those trenches, it's rough, tough sledding. There is a lot of haymakers being thrown in those trenches.
Panthers handoff going left side, and Wilkie just cutting through the Ranger defense, stays on his feet down to the 10, and the Panthers are in complete control of this game here in the third quarter. 7 minutes, 31 seconds left to play, and the Ranger defense.
And this is
where grated like Swiss cheese.
Well, this is where the size factor starts to really factor in now. Like you can see everybody really sucking wind hard, and you know you're just trying to get off the ball, and then you're just a little bit slow. And if you're just a little bit slow, that means that this guy's got a lot more leverage on you, and then it just gets harder, and it just starts to mount as the game goes on.
Grossman handoff, Wilkie going right side, and Wilkie has the edge, touchdown Panthers. Oh boy, so now the Rangers getting deep into a hole in which they do not want to be in if they have any chance of sniffing the third round of the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean we're getting into a point where, I mean, you're gonna have to take the playbook that you had,
throw it out,
throw it in the trash. It's not gonna be good anymore. You need chunk plays, and you know what? If the score turns into 56-7, it doesn't matter at this point. You got to try something. So, like, if DeMonzo's not going to make that pass, if it gets intercepted, you know what? So what? That's the only way you're going to get back into the game.
Yeah.
You know, like the way Forest Lake is played up to this point, you can't hang your head. And even if they do hang a 50 spot on you here, you still can't hang your head because the only way you're going to get back in this game is you're going to have to take chances.
Well-
and you know what? Those chances might cause the other team to get more points, but it's the only way that you can get back in this game.
Well, and the other tough part is I know hindsight is 20/20.
Right.
But just wondering what a difference Gerald would have on this game right now.
I mean, I'm not
Having
gonna,
a passing attack.
having a passing attack would be something, but one thing that I can say is there is a lot of inside pressure,
Yeah.
and Gerald did not do really well against hard inside pressure.
That is a valid point. But yeah, I mean, I guess just right now, because to combat that, we rolled him out a decent amount as the Panthers will line up to kick it back off to the Rangers here late in the third quarter, 6 minutes, about midway through, 6 minutes and 51 seconds left. This one returned by the Rangers, gets to the 10, stutter steps. Cordy on the return across the 20, breaks across the 30, and is wrapped up there. He had nothing but green ahead of him. That was a kick return for a touchdown. Had the Panthers not made a shoestring tackle.
Right. Remember, we could be audio only on some players. People, they thought that you might have said it was a touchdown. No, it was not quite a touchdown.
Shoestring
but
tackle.
He had a
Saves the
lot of
touchdown.
he had a lot of wide open green in front of him after that. One thing that I was going to say is if you do roll out, Reese Hunt is waiting and hunting out on the outside edges, and
Cordy down the sideline, gain of 5. It was a handoff right side.
so that's one thing that, like, yes, I mean, absolutely Gerald would have made a difference. Is it going to be a difference that, this is a 21-21 game? I don't know about that.
True. Here we go. 2nd and 5. DeMonso in the pistol. With a receiver out to his left. 3 receivers out to his left. Takes a snap. Hard pump fake.
Chucks
Goes
it.
deep.
50-50 ball.
He was looking for Mitch Long. Incomplete. And that's right there. You had Lashinsky open down the seam.
Right. I mean, but the thing is like,
They've been setting that play up with the bubble all night long. They ran a fake bubble there. And now it'll be Heavy's coming in for 3rd and 5.
yeah, I mean, I would have to say that we got
Rendell Christensen.
Christensen and Rendell coming in on the side.
Nolan under center. 2 running backs in the backfield out of the eye. Takes a snap. Handoff Patzer. Patzer had a
Falls
chance,
down, had
but
it.
just got tripped up. Gain of a few, but it's still going to be 4th and short.
I mean, you got to go for it here.
Yeah. If you want any chance of getting back in it,
Like
down 3.
This is one of those things where I'm telling you that, hey, you know what? It might come back to bite you in the butt, but if you're going to get into this game, this is the only way you're going to get into the game.
4th and 2 out of the eye. Nolan takes a snap. Pass. Throws downfield. Caught
by
Christensen. Colby Christensen brings it in just across the 50.
Wow.
1st down Rangers.
There's one thing that I bet you the Lakeville coach did not expect Colby Christensen to be grabbing a pass
His
because
first
I did not
career
expect it.
Varsity reception for a 1st down. 1st and 10 Rangers.
Good job, Christensen. Also, good job to DeMonso getting him a ball that he can, come down on the sidelines with.
Rangers into enemy territory. Pitch to Patzer going right. Bottled up in the backfield. Escapes momentarily, but is taken down for a yard loss. That'll bring up 2nd and 11 with 5 minutes and 15 left to play here in the 3rd.
And they are just coming hard with that blitz. I mean, I would almost have to say you got to start running more play action and just, play action, run a naked bootleg on the outside with a roll. I mean, that's the only way to get out of some of this pressure.
Nolan under center takes a snap, and just as you say that, throws back to Bashinsky. He's got this one across the 40.
Wow,
wrapped up
himself.
at the 36 and taken down. 1st down Rangers.
That'll move the chains.
Oh, can the offense get some swagger with the passing game?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what, like I was saying, he's got to come out, do
He's got to do what he's least expected to do and throw the ball.
And
it gets called back.
Oh, man.
Flag on the play, holding. That'll drop it back 10.
Now it's going to be second and a country mile, second and 22.
Yeah, second and 22 of 4:46 left here in the third. Rangers down by 3 touchdowns, looking to get back in it. Nolan out of the pistol. 3 receivers will be on his left side come snap of the ball. He rolls to throw.
Looks for Cordy, I think.
Downfield, incomplete, looking for
that's Reed Olson.
Olson. Now it's 3rd and 22.
I would have liked to hit Cordy early. It looked like the linebacker was coming out to cover him, but he actually dropped coverage and went into a rush, and had a blitz on. So Cordy had a spot where he could have caught it in open 5 yards, and get the ball to him 5 yards down the field. And then Cordy is a great open field runner. I mean, you're not getting a lot of air yards, but hey, you know what? You don't need it. You got a playmaker.
DeMonso sets up screen to Patzer. It works beautifully for a second. Can't get through the blockers. Lakeville plays that one pretty darn well for the fact that they got beat by their entire offensive defense.
Right. I mean,
entire defensive line.
This guy, I mean, that was just a great setup screen. Like, it's not that they got beat. They just bit hard on the screen. They bit hard on the rush.
Yeah.
Rather than and that's kind of what it's designed to do. You just let them go run and, make it look like you're blocking, and then, oh, hey, you win.
Nobody tried to retrace their steps on the defensive line, but their linebackers were able to come up and make a play.
Yeah.
And now the Rangers.
You're going to have to punt it here. I mean, I
4th and 16.
I get that you need to take chances, but 4th and 16 is like, and I would not say that this is the spot for the Howie Johnson fake punt. However, if you don't take it now, you might not have a shot at it later.
That's true. That is definitely true. God, the tough part about this one is seeing how close they played him in the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
To just two big plays.
Yeah, 2 big
is
plays
all
are
that's keeping them out of this
the big
game.
difference in this game. I mean, you had 2 deep passes that were 40 yards plus. And I mean, those were solid. I mean, don't get me wrong, solid pitch and catch. It wasn't luck at all. That was just a great drawn up play. And honestly, here we go, Howie Johnson.
They do run the fake.
Did he
Did he get the first down? They've been setting it up all night. They came back. The broadcast was a commercial.
It is. Howie Johnson, just the absolute defensive lineman dream, coming up big in a playoff game. And like I said, if you don't try it now, here's the replay. Let's see it. Howie Johnson, they were not paying attention to last week's game. We tried this last week, and Howie Johnson rumbling, bumbling, stumbling, knocking over guys. I love it. Let's see it.
First down, Rangers, and maybe that's the spark we needed. 1st and 10, ball on the 38-yard line, and another timeout called.
Yep. And you know what? That's just one of those plays, though. With Howie Johnson, like, even if you know it's coming, who do you put out there to stop him?
Yeah, Howie Johnson is not a guy that you want to try and tackle in the open field.
And not only that, if you put a big guy out there on the open field, Howie Johnson is fast. He's got a great first step, and he can cut. Like, that's why he has 28 tackles for loss.
Yeah.
Because he has a quick first step, and he can move and shift on his feet. So, like, that's a tough spot to be.
He has the body of a defensive end and like the stature of a defensive end with the athletic ability of a linebacker.
I mean, I would not be surprised if we don't see him at tight end next year.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, if he's got hands enough to catch the ball.
That's scary. That's
somebody's
scary
taking
right there.
Somebody's got to take a rental
B-Scout,
spot to tight
Brad,
end. Can we write that up?
Can we write that down? Can we write that
Howie
down?
Johnson, tight end.
Howie Johnson, tight end. Actually, Howie Johnson, heavy package, blocker, release. Over the top.
Yeah.
Just like almost what Rendell's doing right now.
1st and 10, Nolan drops to throw back across. He's got McPhee.
He's got McPhee.
Good move by Connor down inside the 5.
Oh, wow. Great chunk play by Connor McPhee there. And one thing, we have well wishes to Connor's mom.
Yes, Farrah McPhee,
Farrah. And hope she's going to be doing better.
Thoughts and prayers.
Yep.
All right. 1st and 10, ball on the 9-yard line. Couple of running backs in behind DeMonso. I formation, receiver to the left side. Nolan, handoff, Patzer, up the middle. Good push.
Wow.
Inside the 5.
Cody Houston getting up into the second level. That's all right. All right.
Patzer grinding.
All right. They're in. They're
We got a
making this a
jam.
game.
Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Snap the ball
found
down,
that
though. We
passing
got a
game.
free penalty there.
You know what? That's like I was saying. Throw away that playbook because we have not seen this.
Nolan, handoff. Patzer cuts
up
back
the middle.
inside.
Looks like
I think he was stacked up at the 1.
Just short. Like it's probably at the 6-inch line.
Tush push incoming.
I believe tush push incoming with Nolan DeMonso. Oh, well, okay. They're giving him the half yard.
All right, here we go. 3rd and 1 for the Rangers. Ball on the 1. Nolan takes the snap, push forward.
Push forward, gets it there.
I think he's in.
Yeah, he's in.
Touchdown, Rangers.
All right. Touchdown,
Alrighty.
Rangers.
We cut that lead to half.
All right. I like it.
13-28 pending the extra point here. 14-28 pending the extra point is what I should have said. That's proper English.
Goodwin on for the kick.
Come on, Goodwin. Straight and true, baby. He's been automatic so far this season. Snap, hold, kick up.
Looks good.
Good.
Little delayed call.
Yeah, the referees just love that extra second.
We'll just take my TV time here. I'll just take my TV
Gotta
time
get
while
the
everybody's
FaceTime.
looking at me.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
We got it. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
I'm back in this one.
All right. 14-28. All right. So
We got
this is
3 minutes still left in the
3
third.
minutes in the third, so we need the defense to come in. And I mean, Howie Johnson after
Howie's gonna be
do you want to
pumped.
be lining up off of Howie Johnson after he just made that play?
No.
To
I would not want to be.
like he is going to be keyed up like you would not believe.
Let's go, Howie. Let's go.
Let's go, Rangers. Here we
Rangers
are.
on to kick it off. Good
I
win.
mean, how about that though? We had
That was a good drive.
That was a great drive.
Passing?
Like that was a 50
Let's go,
that was
Nolan.
that was like a 50-50 play call. 50% pass, 50% run.
Sometimes it's just those quick, a big momentum shifting chunk play that you need. And that's what Howie brought us there.
Howie just rumbling, bumbling down the side there. Just
Good win. Let's kick this one deep.
he's probably keyed up too. This is probably going 10 yards deep. There it is.
Out of the back of the end zone.
There it is.
Touchback, and the Panthers will have to go 80 yards if they want to score again.
You know what? If I was a local team looking for a kicker, I might want
Goodwin.
I might want to take Goodwin in and take him in for a practice and see what he can do because there's and let's just be honest here. There's quite a few teams, quite a few players that some local universities and also outside metro universities should be looking into here.
Grossman on 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball on the 20, takes a snap, handoff to Wilkie up the middle. Tied up by the Ranger defense. He's going to gain about 5.
And
We got to cut that back.
Right. And, you know, I mean, on both sides of the ball here, like clearly Lakeville definitely has some players that that are going to be playing in college. And for the Rangers and like even our young Rangers, Howie Johnson, underclassman, coming in, playing in this game, playing well, you know, just absolutely crushing it on the line. You know, that gives us hope for next year too.
Grossman under center again, takes a snap, handoff Wilkie, and that's what we need right there. A big stop.
Tackle for
Stuffed
loss.
at
You
the
got
line.
Gruber, you got Gruba, you got Jackson Christensen, and Howie Johnson all
Jackson's
in
got
there.
to get him pumped.
I mean, these kids are here, and they, you know what? They looked at the scoreboard and they said, "Hey, you know what? That gap closed pretty quick." Like
3rd and 3. This is a
we
big
can-
down here.
This is, if you want to say, a spot where the game can change on one play.
Right here.
Right here, if they come up and get a solid sack here, this could really turn.
3rd and 3. The Rangers got a ton of guys at the line of scrimmage. Pitch out. Did he get there?
No, he didn't. I think that was Howie Johnson there wrapping him up.
It's going to depend on the spot.
I don't think he got it.
4th and 1. And what do you do if you're Lakeville this deep in your own territory? I feel like you got to punt it. I know that they could probably run it for 1, but if something goes wrong, you're
Yeah,
giving
if something
Force Lake
goes
the
wrong,
ball,
and
knocking on the door of the red zone.
I don't know. If I was the Lakeville coach,
Tush push.
yeah.
Just go for it and try and.
I mean, that quarterback is not small.
That's true. And here they come. They run up to the line. Grossman under center, takes a snap, handoff, met at the line of scrimmage,
You got
and he
it.
got it. 2nd and 3rd effort gets him the first down with 27 seconds left on the clock in the 3rd quarter.
Man, that previous play, that 3rd and 3, we had good pressure. The running back just did a really good job on fighting for that extra couple of yards and falling forward. Howie Johnson did a great job on getting the tackle, but he just didn't have another guy hitting him, you know, just to be able to stand him up right away and stop him for a loss. He was able to fall forward for that extra 2 yards, and that was the difference.
Well, I mean, that last play there, they had him stacked up
Right.
at the line of scrimmage, and when you got a guy stopped, you got to get the pile moving backwards and not let him spin out of that like he did and gain 4.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of spun, like not really spun, but kind of dove under a lot of the help that was coming in. So it was a good job by the running back. And that running back is also not a small running back.
No. Wilkie has been running very well tonight, I must say. Oh, okay. Is anybody, interested in Lakeville Dental? It's the ad that they were just running for us.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I wouldn't mind rolling on down there.
You drive all the way to Lakeville for a.
Oh, I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah, that ain't gonna be me. I don't think.
No, we could just tack on an extra hour and a half to your drive. Sure. No thanks. Sorry,
Okay.
I was being
1st and 10.
I was being a sea fish there.
1st and 10.
A facetious sea fish.
Grossman gonna roll the throw.
Oh, he's gonna dump it deep again.
Unloads a deep
Oh,
one.
wow,
And
and
he had a
he's
receiver
wide open.
open. That's Wilkie. Touchdown, Panthers.
Wow, Wilkie was on a wheel route and just there was nobody back there. I don't know what happened there.
That's tough.
That is
tough. When you need to answer back on defense and you get them in a 4th and 1 and then give up the long ball on the very next play, it's a little deflating.
Yeah, and that was kind of weird. He was kind of rolling to his right too. That was weird. was kind of a weird design
Yeah, he
play.
threw it all the way back across the field deep. Confusion at the line for Lakeville. I'm just going to start calling them Lakeview at this point. I don't care.
Well, we're
Just
going to
kidding.
have Lakeview seats of Forest Lake next week.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, down by 20 at this point, it's going to be a tall order. Now is when you're almost relying on you need a defensive touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
You need an offensive touchdown, and you may even need a special teams touchdown.
I
And they
mean-
all have to be quick scores.
I mean, the key to this game for Lakeville has just been straight air yards.
Yeah. Setting up the pass.
Air yards, air yards.
Well,
air
and
yards
running
on
it
each
as
one of the
well as
passes.
they have in order to set up the long ball.
Yeah.
Because their quarterback has not been close to getting touched
No.
on any of their long
No.
passes.
I mean, their offensive line has been doing a great job. Also, like, they haven't been making huge running plays, or it's kind of weird. Like,
Snap, hold, extra point is up, and good.
it looks like they're just trying to rush, and but they're playing like a back zone, and yet nobody is behind. Like, they drop back into coverage, but nobody covered Wilkie on the way out.
Well, and the other tough part is the fact that our secondary has been so good
Right.
this season, and then
I
the
mean-
game that matters most right now, they're just getting torched.
Yeah, they are. I mean, it's... And, this is also probably one of the best quarterbacks we've seen. I mean, how many quarterbacks do you see in high school that can throw a 40-yard air ball and have it be on the money?
Yeah. It's impressive.
I mean, last year or 2 years ago with Stillwater and Shikenjansky, probably the closest one that we've seen that's anywhere close to this.
yeah.
Like, this kid is solid. He has got a cannon.
Riley Grossman. All right. Squib kick taken by the Rangers.
Connor McPhee on the...
Falls on it about the 34. Now the offense will come out, and we'll see what they do on the attack here. They passed it a lot the last series, and we'll see if they try and do it again. If they get in the end zone here, I mean, they're still down by two touchdowns. Let me change the scoreboard here so we're on top of things.
Fourth quarter, 11:47 to go.
Rangers take the snap.
DeMonso
No
on
one
a keeper.
keeps right side.
Going to get about
Good gain.
7.
Fourth quarter, 11 minutes, 32 seconds to go in the Rangers season.
We'll call it 8. 2nd and 2 now. We
35,
got quads
14.
up top. Look at this.
Lots of receivers.
Quads up top. That's kind of rare. And
Nolan
a pass.
takes the snap,
and,
runs forward, first down.
Huh.
Gain of 4. Just spreading the defense out
Right.
as much as they can.
Maybe they're not going to blitz into that because they know it's probably a bubble screen. If, like, you really don't want to be blitzing into a bubble screen there. Have everybody over pursue.
Same formation. Now Patzer comes to the backfield with 3 receivers left, 1 right.
Oh,
Now Patzer
back
checks
out.
back out. Nolan out of the shotgun, takes a snap, looks to throw, now goes deep downfield. He's got a receiver in Patzer.
That's Patzer.
Down to
Wow.
the 30. Rangers refusing to go away quietly.
DeMonso showing a little touch on that ball there.
Quick pump fake towards, was it Cordy that was out there, or was that McPhee?
I think it
One of the two. He gave it a pump. I think it was McPhee.
Yeah, I think it was McPhee. He was on that side coming back.
Same formation now for the Rangers, only flipped, so all 4 receivers are to the right side with Cordy alone by himself, top of your screen. Now they flip it back out.
That could
Bubble
it
down
looked,
to the 30.
they might be setting up. They might be setting up a double pass there, because it looked like he wanted to pass.
Rangers trying to pull out all
You know
the
what?
stops with 10
like
minutes
it.
left in the season.
I like it. Just
Throw the playbook away. Start
Right.
drawing stuff up in the
That's what-
turf.
That's what we said. That's what we said at halftime. You just got to throw it away and come back.
Just go get open. Nolan takes the snap, keeps himself up the middle. Gain of 3 or 4 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Yeah, about 5. However, what?
3rd and 4.
It seemed like he got a lot further than that, but I don't know.
3rd and 5. Nolan by himself in the backfield, takes a snap, looks to pass.
Wow.
Huge hit from behind.
Yep.
Fumbled football. And we got 2 Rangers down. We got Reed Olson down, grabbing his knee. And Nolan was very slow getting up after that one.
And that was just basically an open blitz, and nobody touched him.
Yeah, that was a huge hit coming off the right side. Tanio Menard.
And I mean, what happened there is the right tackle has got to at least drop a step, because he went to block the inside. The second he sees that guy drop into the outside, he's got to take a step back and open up just in case he comes in, just so that man doesn't go free.
Panthers, handoff up the middle. Wilkie fighting forward, gain of 7 on the play. He is running strong tonight.
And like I was saying, in the fourth quarter now, this is the tough time when everything starts mounting on itself. Like, you're just starting to suck wind hard, and you see a lot of hands. You see a lot of hands on the hips, trying to get more oxygen in, and it's tough. It's tough in the trenches, especially this late in the game.
Grossman under center, takes the snap,
Fake.
looks to throw, goes downfield. He's got Wilkie. First down, Lakeville.
Fumble.
Ball comes out.
And
They call him down.
Lakeville recovers.
That moves the chains. First down, Panthers. Ball now on the other side of the 50. Down to the 42 of the Rangers. 8 minutes, 10 seconds left to play in the season for your Rangers in maroon. 35-14. 1st and 10. Lakeville hurries to the line. Sends a man in motion. They hand it off to him going to the right side. That play bottled up.
Hunter Hanegraaff on there having outside contain and just makes a good play on the outside.
7:35 left now in the fourth. Defense trying to make some adjustments there at the line. Do anything they can to slow this Panthers team down. Guess while we're watching the conclusion of this one, I can check in on some scores for us. Grossman looks to throw.
Oh, rush. Oh, intercepted
by the Rangers.
Intercepted by
So
Jackson
Christensen picks the ball off. And at least Jackson got a play like that. Even if this doesn't end up in a huge comeback, Jackson has been the one all night long.
He's been
telling the boys, it's not over. It's not over.
right.
Let's go. And he came up with a huge play there. Now, if only he could have gone for 6 on that one.
Right.
cut into the lead a little bit more. DeMonso and the Rangers come back out.
Now that I willed that Howie Johnson tight end into existence, I want it to happen.
Nolan sends Lashinsky in motion. Hand off to him. Reverse.
Double reverse.
Back
Flea
to
flicker.
Nolan. Throw downfield. Receiver there. Rendell just passed him. Incomplete.
Man. But you know what? Hey, I'm glad he tried it.
Oh, that would have been a
Glad
big
he tried
play.
it. That's exactly what we were talking about. Throw away the playbook. You just got to try anything that you can possibly do to get a big play.
The thing that I hate the most about plays like that is when the camera zooms in on the defensive backs who just got torched by a defensive linebacker going on a seam route.
Yeah.
And the ball was just off the fingertips.
Yep.
And they do the big, sheathing the sword and make it look like they made a play on the ball.
Right. No, you just got beat.
Torched, and the
And
Rangers screwed it up.
Not really screwed it up. It's just
Overthrew the ball.
That's
Yeah.
a tough play. That's a tough play to actually complete.
Yeah.
That's a lot of air yards there, and hey, DeMonso made a great throw. I'll say that it was a good throw, and it might have been a little deep, but if it's not a little deep, it's probably intercepted. So,
Well, that's what we've.
Rendell was the only one that had a shot at that.
Nolan out of the shotgun, sends a man in motion, takes a snap, rolls
another
the throw, incomplete.
wow.
We'll bring
I
it
think
fourth and
I think he
six.
heard footsteps on that one.
Definitely.
And once again, that was number 9 on the outside, and they're just kind of letting him free. He lines up, and then I don't know what it is. They're not stepping back, giving it one step back just to make sure that he doesn't come on the outside.
I mean, Lashinsky's up there at the top with nobody lined up over the top of him. Nolan takes a snap,
Sees it.
looks for him down the sideline,
Oh,
intercepted.
and that's picked off.
And that one could be going for 6 the other way. Pats are
Just
missing a
misses the
tackle, and it does. Panthers on their way to the playoffs with that one.
Yeah, and I mean, it is what it is. Like we were talking, it doesn't matter if they put up a 50 spot on you. You got to try and win the game, and a credit to B-Scow and the boys in white and gold tonight. They definitely took out all the stops, and I don't believe there's a play in the playbook that they wouldn't have tried.
True.
And that's a credit to the coaching. And we knew this was an uphill battle coming into it. You're playing one of the best teams in the state right here, and I would not be shocked if we see these guys in US at the bank.
Oh yeah, especially Egan is still up on Maple Grove right now.
Yeah.
So I would bet that they, if they play this well against us, they got a decent shot to make the bank next week. But now I'm just kind of, looking on to next year a little bit here. We've seen a little bit of Bo Anderson this season in times that we've needed a quarterback to come in.
Yeah.
Tough to tell off of sample size. We also have Parker Chapman, who's a junior quarterback, waiting in the wings. So it'll be a little camp quarterback battle next year. Potentially between those two juniors.
Do you want to hear a red hot take?
What's that?
I believe
Howie Johnson's not going to play quarterback for us next year, Joel.
This does tie into Howie Johnson,
Okay.
though. This does tie into Howie Johnson.
As we get a quick squib kickoff here,
Oh,
Rangers
and
can't
they
handle
fumble it.
I think they were able to get back on it.
Jambalaya. And it is
Ranger
recovered
ball.
by Ranger ball. Okay, so we have seen that Brad Beeskow likes to elevate talent that he sees from younger players. I would not be shocked if the starting quarterback for next year is a young underclassman, like a
Sophomore quarterback?
a sophomore, somebody that you can, all right, hey, you got good bones, we can start. And, we've had two good seasons that we've won one playoff game.
Nolan rolls left to throw and is sacked.
He may be looking for somebody that can take him deep into the playoffs. And what we've had at Forest Lake is 1-year quarterbacks. You have 1-year quarterback where you come up and you play for 1 year, and that's it. I think he's looking for that kid that he can mold into somebody and really turn that passing game on. Like that first season that we had, he saw Zeidler was really good and was really good at a passing game. Now,
Rangers run a bit of a reverse. They got a tight end running with the ball.
Nice job.
Down the sideline. We'll get a number on that one. That's number 83. Tucker Seibald again.
I think he's a senior. Getting in getting in some play late in this game. Good to see Coach playing some guys that, I think we've seen the writing on the wall a little bit.
5 minutes left in the game. Lashinsky in motion. Handoff up the middle. Is that Patzer still? Yep.
Patzer. So how that ties into Howie Johnson. He saw Howie Johnson last year. Started him. And he started the whole season. Now look at how good Howie Johnson is this year. And we saw that. Howie Johnson had some flashes.
Howie's been starting since freshman.
Right.
He's a sophomore.
Right. He's a sophomore. And that's what I'm saying. So he started last year. He saw talent, and now he's a sophomore. Now we got him, and I believe
Nolan with a good run left side picks up 12 and a first down for the Rangers. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left to play in the game.
I believe number 88, Nate Schleif, is also a sophomore. So there's a number of young kids that are playing on this team that will have multiple years, and Brad is looking for that team to push forward deep into the playoffs. To be able to
only Gruba was a junior. We could have one more year.
One more year of Gruba and Johnson together, that would be great. I think Nate Schleif, if he
Nolan is running for his life as if it's the last snaps he's ever going to play in varsity football. He is going for it. Another gain of 12 on the play and a first down for the Rangers, I believe.
And right there, that's a perfect example of not giving up. Lakeville was like, oh, yeah, we're not going to pile on. And good job for Lakeville, like, not piling in and, like, oh, he's just probably going to go down. But Nolan's sitting there running. He's like, you know what? I ain't got another play. You know what? I might not have another game left. So let's just get as many yards as we can. And
Pats are up the middle, 8 yards.
So that's why I think that the quarterback of the future may not be on the roster right now.
Yeah, I think at the very least he may look to a junior quarterback to at least have 2 years with him. Because we know that B-Scout loves his quarterbacks as Nolan keeps up the middle himself, makes some moves, stays up for a second, and that's another pickup of 8. 2 minutes, 58 seconds left.
I'm thinking outside the box here. And
I don't think you're off, honestly. I do think that, Brad, we have progressively gotten better as a team each year that Brad has been the coach as far as record and everything. I mean, last year I think we had a better record, but this year we had a deeper playoff push. Well, I guess we had an even playoff push. We got to the second round.
Right. I think we had more of a shot this year in this game.
In this game, yes. Yes. I still think from jump, if Gerald was still in the game, I think it might be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Just with the fact that not only is Cordy runs left across the 10, trying to get to the side 5, reaches for the pylon.
If he got in,
Touchdown, Rangers.
Wow, good job by Cordy. Wow, that's just a huge play. He was sniffing the end zone, spun around before you stepped out of bounds, saw the pylon, stretched out, and hit the pylon with the ball. That's just great running there.
Good effort by the senior running back. I mean, that will be the interesting thing is I'm looking at this team, and this team had a few notable names from last year that were on the roster, and a lot of those notable names are seniors, other than Howie.
Right.
So this year we'll have another year of Jack Thill, which I think will be fantastic, having him in the backfield. He's played solid defense all year. We will lose out on Sam Cordy in the speed, but the receiver that I think will step up and fill his shoes perfectly will be McPhee.
Connor McPhee, I was just going to say.
Junior. He'll be
McPhee
playing his
is
senior season.
Looking through. Also, Ethan Lashinsky. Ethan Lashinsky has come up big in quite a few spots. And then the other guy.
Right here, though, this is where it stinks. And it stings a little bit because I feel like we lose a lot of our core with Reed Olson, Mark Rendell, Jackson Christensen, Kobe Christensen, Leighton Patzer, and Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
All those are names that are called weekly, multiple times.
Right. I will also counter that, yes, those are big losses, but every year somebody steps up.
Yep.
But look at Hunter Hanegraaff. He's been playing 2 games, and he's had
fantastic 2 games.
2 games.
Yeah.
Like, this is an underclassman that's going to come up. He's going to make some big plays. And, I'm not going to say that you're never going to replace a Mark Rendell. Oh, wow.
Rangers try an
Did the
onside
Rangers?
kick.
Oh, no.
Lakeville's able to
it
get
looked
on
like It looked like they had a shot at recovering
I think
that.
they did.
But, like I said, you're never going to
Hold up.
replace. Oh,
I got to say it because
okay.
he's one of the seniors that doesn't get his name called unless it's an onside kick. Hoekstra. On to attempt that onside kick on what will be his last game as a senior.
Okay.
I served with his dad at church. I just had to get it in there. Riken
right.
Hoekstra.
He is the onside kick master.
He's the onside kick specialist. And he got to get in there tonight.
So what I was saying is you're never going to replace a guy like Mark Rendell. I mean,
Yep.
that guy is absolutely one of the best linebackers that
We've ever had.
Forest Lake has ever had.
Yep.
And also a great wrestler too.
Yeah.
I believe he is
Fantastic
ranked,
all-around athlete.
Yes. And like a tight
I could
end.
be wrong, but I think Rendell also does throwing for track. I'm not totally sure on that,
Okay.
but I thought I remember hearing that somewhere.
All right. So,
Don't
3-sport athlete.
Yeah.
Also plays both ways in
football, yeah.
Like that's pretty solid.
What a
Like I
freak.
said, you're not going to replace that guy, but there are a number of young guys that are, out there playing is Walter
Phil's one. Phil will be back.
Walters? Where's he?
TJ.
TJ Walters?
TJ.
Cuz he's had some flashes. Oh, he's a senior.
He's a senior.
Okay. But like what I was saying, Hunter Hanegraaff, number 88, Nate Schleif is a sophomore.
We've called the. Never mind. I gotta keep.
Nate Schleif is a sophomore
Yep.
starting. And he's started at multiple positions. So, like, he started at nose and he started at defensive end. And that's going to do it here with
About 30 seconds left.
30
That's just going to
seconds.
run off, and that will draw to a close the Forest Lake Rangers 2023 season with a final score of 42-21. It was a good year.
It was a good year. And, there's a lot of stuff that, we can look forward to. B-Scouts got us to the second game of the playoffs.
Both years.
2 years in a row. We are definitely losing a lot of talent, And the other thing that I was looking at, we are losing a lot of talent on the offensive line too. There's a ton of guys. We have Ojeda. Mason Vollrath will be coming back. He was injured. He did not play tonight. That was also a huge loss that we had 2 weeks ago. So we were without our left tackle and also without Cole Jarrell. But we have Cody Houston was a big part of this offensive line. Mason Stapleton.
We've said Tony Klesk's name a few times this season. He'll be back next year as a junior linebacker.
Let's see. I believe Zach Burns got in there some as a junior. So Mason Vollrath, I think, is going to be our number one returning offensive lineman. I'm not sure what we got coming up, but as we were talking about earlier, as far as enrollment in the football team, I mean, you and Caleb both understand that Forest Lake football program. You know, a big shout out to you guys for winning the sixth grade championship.
Yeah,
so
good year.
You know, it's something that
a lot of talent coming
that
up.
we're here in Forest Lake. Like once the varsity starts winning, you get a lot more younger kids involved. You get them interested. Also, you know that once you get to varsity, you know, you got to work hard, and it's a lot of work to come out and, you know, play football. It's a lot of work to do
big
2
commitment.
days,
Yeah.
you know, 2 days of practice every day.
For the last 2 weeks of your summer, you give up
Right.
to come out and do that.
And it's hot, and, you know, it's, you know, and the worst part about it, like what I hated, 2 a days in the heat. I mean, I'm not a small guy.
Well, and not only the heat, but Minnesota summers.
Right. The
You go out
sticky-
there in the morning and
Right.
you're in a long sleeve, and it's borderline chilly.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that practice, it's starting to warm up. You go in for lunch, you come back out, and somehow that hour you break for lunch, it went from maybe 70
It
degrees
went from
when you
Minnesota to Florida.
to 95 and
Right.
100% humidity.
Right.
And
Minnesota
it's
to
just
Florida.
terrible. Like, yeah.
And so, you know, but I can honestly say that I hope that a lot of these underclassmen really look and see what they've achieved and look up to the upperclassmen and see, you know, what they did to get here. Like there was a lot of people that had a lot of dedication. You know, Rendell worked super hard and was working with everybody. You know, you had Gruba, you had a number of guys that came back from injury. You know, just worked hard to get back on the field. Gerald came back and then got injured again. That's just a lot of dedication, and you know, this team and everybody that has helped replace those players that went down. Nate Schleif that I was talking about, he filled in for Hunter Gruba when Hunter Gruba was out. We also lost Gunnar Johnson,
Yep.
who would have been a huge help to have here, because Gunnar Johnson was just a solid nose tackle. And
The Johnson brothers up front.
brothers up front, they were doing a lot of damage. Yeah. And, you know, it would have been great. And, you know, we hope he's getting better. And, but, you know, his brother's going to be back. And, you know, a lot of people, like, he's not an upperclassman, but he's got 2 years of varsity under his belt. And Howie Johnson, like, you got to look at him and see, hey, what's this guy doing other than just being a freak of an athlete?
Yeah.
Like, what's this guy doing in order to get better? Because he definitely has made strides from last year to this year. And I'm hoping, like, if he makes any, like, the amount of strides that he moved from last year to this year was like 30-40% better.
Yeah.
Like, and he's playing at a really high level now. If he can move that extra 15 to 20% of what he's doing right now, that makes him a
Unstoppable
monster. So, like, and I just hope that all the kids get in there and take advantage of the weight room, take advantage of the coaching the whole way through. Like, hey, hey coach, what can I do to be better? What are you gonna be looking for me to do for next year? And hopefully the coaches have the time in the weight room and say, hey, you know what? This is what we need you to do. This is what we're going to be looking for you to do. These are some guys that maybe you should take a look at what they're doing, especially on the offensive and defensive line. Like, there's a lot of technique that a lot of people don't understand. Like, hey, you got to just do this. And this game right here is a perfect example of what wins when it's offense and defensive line and one team has an advantage over the other. Mm-hmm. Like, you're just like those plays that they were running with Wilkins, Wilkie. Like, all of those plays got easier, and you could even see it like running against their huge defensive line got easier in the fourth quarter. But that was because our offensive line was still staying at it, and they're punching these guys in the mouth all the time, and that's what you got to do. You got to go out and you got to punch. And there was a couple of times on that backside blitz where if the tackle just turns and just recognizes that, hey, this guy's coming into blitz, and I just have to take one step back and maybe just give him a shove just so he doesn't get a free run. That saves a fumble, and that also saves almost an interception. That one interception that he threw up, he was getting hit then too. So, like, there's a lot of things that just mean the difference, and it doesn't look like it's a difference maker, and you're not going to see it in a stat sheet, but the coaches see it, and it's one of those things that, if we can just learn from some of those little minute mistakes and take some of those away, we could be playing really good football next year. If all of the underclassmen kind of look at this year and say, hey, what did we do to be so good this year, and how can we make that better next year?
Yeah. I think all in all, for me, there's going to be some big shoes to fill for the kids coming in next year.
Absolutely.
My one complaint that I have is that I got to wait another 9 months to see how it all unfolds. Right. I talked to good news for us and fans. Mm-hmm. We might not have to wait as long this year. I've talked to Paul. Paul and us are very in on the football stuff. That seems to be one of the most popular things that we do here. And we're talking to the coaching staff and trying to get as much access to
maybe do a little
off-season workouts,
spring
interviews, practices, two-a-days.
I like it.
Behind-the-scenes stuff, and get more football content on the page, and bring it to you guys because you seem to love it, and we love doing it for you.
Doing some shorts. I mean, like I can definitely see Paul getting into some editing work. He's the master behind the great broadcast that we do from Forest Lake Stadium, and he can do a mean edit.
Yeah.
So I can't, like, if he's in. You know what I'm looking for?
What's that?
A hype video on the scoreboard.
We got to try and make that happen.
That's what I'm looking for.
A little highlight video.
A little hype video. A little woo. You know what I'm saying?
I know. I hear you clucking, big chicken.
All right. Cluck, cluck.
I mean, so I guess we can quick say, obviously, stinks Caleb's not here to help us sign off for the last broadcast. He's up north with his church group.
Yeah.
But from me and you, thank you guys for tuning in every week to listen to just
two random guys.
Couple of guys try and talk about football. Caleb's about the only one that really knows exactly what he's talking about with.
Hey, you know what? He spins my head around a couple of times, and I'm just like, what? Football talk.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just here to do the dumb play-by-play because
Right,
I'm not
like-
nearly as smart as he is.
I just see guys on the offensive and defensive line pushing around each other, and I can pick out which ones are pushing better than the other guys.
We got a pretty good system of me just doing quick play-by-play because I'm good at that. You focusing on the line and the guys that don't normally get talked about, and then Caleb just blowing everybody's minds with his football knowledge of coverages.
Well, you see this guy over here, he's open on the seam, and then this guy's on the wheel route coming in. And if he just checks down and takes a third look and then fires it down, you don't get behind the chains, and that's how you do it.
Yep.
You're like, what? I don't know what you're talking about, but it sounded great to me.
Yeah.
And that's the mind of a quarterback. And, hey, it's great to see that somebody as knowledgeable as Caleb and, you as well. You were out there, coaching with Caleb. But those are the kind of people that are coaching these young future football players of Forest Lake. And it's good to see you and Caleb getting involved in the community and doing a good job here.
Try and do as much as we can, but I guess another real quick shout out. Thank you to Brad and the football team for being as accommodating as they have been since Brad got in. Again, this year with the podcast, that's been huge so far this season. Caleb loves doing it, and I think, as far as I know, Brad loves doing it with him. So that'll continue into next year. And obviously, again, just the biggest thank you in the world to Paul and Jill and everybody here.
And all of the crew.
LATV.
All the crew, not just Paul and Jill.
Well,
the
yeah,
other
the
people that were up there,
camera crew
just freezing their butt off last week. Oh my gosh.
We get to
it
be
was
in the
cold.
nice warm booth, and they got to do the hard work. But
so a lot of people we need to thank, and you know what? Hey, a big thanks to all of the other schools that let us broadcast.
To come to, yep.
And Stillwater, they let us come in, and we got into the booth and finished her up.
Yep. Lots of memories.
Lots of memories.
Well, I can't wait to make more next year. And
absolutely, and thank all you guys.
Yeah.
For
tuning in
every week.
The compliments we get.
And remember to like and subscribe, hit that bell, because this time you may not see it. Spring hype videos and interviews with the team, maybe some weight room stuff. Who knows? Who knows what we'll have?
Mm-hmm. Well, until we see you on the Thursday night, last week of August, to kick off the 2024 season.
Absolutely.
One more time, I guess. I'm Noah Casa.
And I'm Joel Geist.
And we will talk to you next year. Yes. Have a great offseason, everybody.
Have a good one.